Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Chel. Today's episode, we have got, we're going to talk about the fantasy event that is upcoming, maybe a potential second event. Hut Champs is currently going on, and there's some issues with that. And then we're going to get into your comments as well. I do want to note my subathon is still going, so if you did ever want to support the channel or anything like that, come check it out, twitch.tv/nosleeves12. Any gifted sub or any subscription goes 6 minutes to the clock, so I'll go as long as the community sends me. We've been going for 15 days, and it's been a blast. So that being said, I do want to get into some of the main things first. Let's before I get into your comments, because there's a lot that I want to discuss specifically in these comments today. Number one, fantasy is coming. It was confirmed. So 5 p.m. today, we're going to get the fantasy event. All 32 teams, which is awesome. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. A fear of mine, or not a fear, but I hope they don't do, here's 16 teams in week 1, 16 teams in week 2. I kind of want them to do all 32 at once and just let it go, but I think that they're going to do 16 and 16 because they want, like, the FOMO. They want, like, okay, if we didn't put if your favorite teams, if the Sharks, let's say, isn't in the first 16, then maybe you'll get some FOMO to spend a lot of your collection now, potentially money, and then you'll have to wait, and because you don't want to miss out on the first week, so then you do the second week. I really hope it's not that. I hope it's just, here's the 32 cards, stop messing around. The event is great. Do it like, don't, like, well, I guess the 2 weeks is how it worked last year, but I would love to see it where they just release them all. They did tease all 32, and there are MSPs. For anyone that doesn't know, last year the MSPs didn't matter. It's just they got cooler art. That's literally it. So, potentially second event. So in Wild Card this past week, I talked about this in some of the other videos. There were some players from the Marquee event, like marquee players. Really weird card art too. It was like headshots with like buildings in the background. Very odd. Anyways, last year, because the fantasy event is so expensive for the majority of the player base, they released it with a second event, which was a great idea because players that can't take part in the fantasy event, at least they can work towards a much cheaper, more typical version of the event style. So I'm expecting maybe a second event, which would be kind of cool. Hut Champs is busted. So apparently on the PlayStation leaderboard, it looks like you can just play more than 20 games. However, it does look like those games aren't actually counting for the player that's going above 20 games. Once you get to 20 games, your record is stuck. But if you cause losses to people, it's allowing them to like give losses to people then when they've already completed their runs, which is an absolute joke. It always seems that Hut Champs has an issue in the first week because of like the ladder structure and whatever. But it is a little bit unfortunate in that sense. And they really need to fix leaderboards. I also want to talk about, there's a lot of busted things from a tech standpoint that kind of gets overlooked because of the new hotness. The game, like, the game is quite different this year. And as we get focused on the new stuff, there's a lot of things that the smaller annoying things kind of get pushed aside. The leaderboard not being fixed is a mess. Like the fact that you can't go in there and it's just like not there for some players. You just can't see it, which like I got to gold 2 and then it like showed me my leaderboard, like all of my stats. Like I don't understand that at all. The B&D cards, or sorry, not B&D cards, but the auto select just being removed from the game. That's super annoying. The menus are really slow still. There's less clicks to get into the stuff, which is great, but that didn't really speed anything up. It just made the time to get into it less because there's less clicks. But when you're actually editing your lineup and stuff, it's just such a mess. So there are a lot of small things that are going to get annoying as the new game smell wears off. So that being said, let's get into the comments. And like I said, there are some spicy ones, and I like addressing all types of comments, so let's get into it. Number 1, 23 likes. For a guy that knows that anything he says affects the game, I knew as soon as he said Cup Chase was the thing, watch in 2 hours, that'll be gone. I've said Cup Chase is the thing to do since the launch of the game. I think before that it was buffed randomly yesterday. It was still by far the best way to spend your time if you were looking to build a team. And I think the rewards for the time input is still decent in comparison to everything else. When you consider that, I guess in prior years, you could technically, for squad battles, go into rookie, 2-minute periods, sit there, and basically get your 30 wins in squad battles. It would take less time than what we've got right now. Number 1, you couldn't do that infinitely. Like you literally, once you got your 30 wins, it would reset. Cup Chase now is repeatable as many times as you want. Also, like, being able to cheese the game just to get a reward is not like a good thing for a video game as a whole. I showed people in Cup Chase that once you're out of objectives to do and actually playing against the superstar, that it's not like you can put so I'm gonna state how I've played Cup Chase, guys. If I have objectives, I put the objective cards in my lineup and I play Cup Chase and I try to complete those objectives. And it has been engaging enough where I'm not falling asleep while just passing the puck back and forth behind my net. Okay? On Superstar to get the rewards done faster. And I've enjoyed that. Like, so there was objectives like for Team of the Week. I threw Team of the Week players in my lineup, scored with them, took shots, and then by the time I was done my Cup Chase run, I was almost done all of the objectives. I finished it off by going into Rookie and playing like 2 games and getting them all done. That's what I would recommend you guys do. I think that's fun. For people, like, the second part of this that really frustrates me over the last 5 years is the people that get upset when, not just myself, other content creators say, hey, this thing is going on. I don't know if it's normal, but hey, take advantage of these packs that are out that are in the store. They appear to be glitched. Take advantage of the XP that's buffed in Cup Chase. How is that if I make a video on that like I did yesterday? Because I didn't know if that was an actual mistake or if they were like, hey, if Cup Chase wasn't getting enough XP. Because I'll be honest with you, my man Bert, who has also been streaming just as long as I have, only he has just been in ranked the entire time, like 400 games of it. I had been grinding out Cup Chase, and I was nowhere near where he was in the XP path because it just you weren't getting as much XP. So I was like, okay, maybe they're buffing it, right? Like maybe they're making it better. And I was like, you guys should definitely, if you were on the fence about trying Cup Chase, it's now definitely more viable. How is that any fair for the people that would have had no idea that it was buffed to not know by me not saying anything? It was an issue. It was a broken thing that they accidentally did, and maybe it got it fixed faster. But would you have known that it was there? That's all what I don't understand, right? Like that frustrates me. I see it on Reddit all the time, not just myself, but when any creator makes a video letting people know about something being broken, right? How did you find out? Were you the one that accidentally saw it, right? Like that's what I'm saying. It's not really fair to the other people that have no idea. They use my videos or other people's videos as to how to get information, right? The only way that they're going to get that information is the person talks about it. Okay. I think that it made Cup Chase 2 buffed, by the way, and I said that in my video. I said that the XP buff and the coin buff that happened randomly yesterday was actually made Cup Chase a little too jacked, especially because ranked, the format that we have for ranked now, is an absolute mess. I don't think it's good. I don't, because once you get stuck, you're stuck. You don't earn rewards. So again, just fun. That one gets me fired up because I don't agree totally about that, right? I also try not to talk about things. I don't show glitches. You can go back my channel. I haven't shown you once how to do the L2 glitch because that's stuff in the game that I don't think they're going to fix, and I don't think that it's good for the game, so I just don't show anyone how to do it, right? So anyways, Bud Light Slayer. That's a great name. I just wanted to reach out and say thanks for all the work that you put into these videos in order to provide us with all the info and also giving the players a forum to discuss the game. I've been following since whatever year EA had the option to create your own set plays offline and use them in-game. I have to admit, I chuckle every time you call yourself an old HUT player, as I'm 59 years old and I play daily each year. I come home from the office, crack a beer, watch your daily video, and hit the ice. Unfortunately, I mainly play offline. One reason is I tend to play the game like real hockey, which doesn't work so good online, 100%. And the second, at my age, I just don't have the controller skills to perform all the cool deeks and L2 skills I see people use. Preach. I grew up in the 70s, and I watched Sittler's 10-point game live on CBC. I've seen the KGB beside the bench when the Broad Street Bullies scared the Red Army team from wanting to come back out on the ice, and even the Summit Series on a 19-inch TV rolled into the gym for an entire school to watch. Love the game and grind each year, no matter what state it's in. I've realized over the years that I must be getting enjoyment out of it because I keep playing Chel every year. Just wish they would give us new teams to play against each week in Cup Chase. Thank you for all you do and the feedback and comments from the Sleeveless Army. I appreciate that. It's awesome hearing from players that are much older, right? Because I don't think video games should just scare people off because you're old, you know? And this type of player, of all you hardcore online players out there that just want everything catered to you, I want it to be very clear here that this type of person, like the older person or someone that just sits down after work, cracks a beer, and enjoys the game, makes up 85% of the player base, which is why I try to remember this type of player, maybe not 59 years old, but more than anything. All right, so I want that to be very clear. Thank you so much for the comments, man, and I love that you still play NHL. All right. This one, Cookie Monster says, "Hey, Slaves, long time watcher, first time commenter. I'm just gonna say I love NHL 26. Being from Australia, you don't get great servers over here. The lag means we're pretty much forced to play purely offline. Also, the fact of a 41-year-old married man, dude, my audience, oh, I love it. With a full-time job, I play casually to relax after work. This year, introducing the new season style of Cup Chase definitely breaks up the monotony of just playing squad battles week in, week out as a purely offline player. Also, getting solid rewards for finishing a season doesn't make me feel like I'm missing out not being able to play online. Playing on Superstar, I find that I'm actually getting rivalries going with the teams each season, which has me more invested. There's someone said that they always lose to the Tofino Icebirds, and it like that killed me. It made me laugh. Um, yeah, the rewards are a bit lackluster when using collectibles, but I do find myself using players that I've never used before rather than chasing down the usual suspects. Keep up the great work. I'll share your videos from being in a country not many people are invested in NHL. Love being part of the community. I appreciate that, man. I can't imagine like being in Australia. Yeah, you can't play online at all. You can't play it online at all. I do wish that the community teams that the old squad battle format had was how they made the teams, because I didn't really think about that, but I've seen that comment quite a bit, and I do agree. I think that that would be an interesting way to go. Watch Things on YouTube says, "Hey, Sleeves, your fourth line is wrong. They get no playing time, so it's best to keep them at all 80s and under. If you put the Check My Game Ty Karche, Check My Game Bluger, and Check My Game Grunstrom, you get a plus 11 AP boost." Very true. For the 6 plus AP Check My Game line fit, and the Seattle explains how to do it. Also, Check My Game Carlson and Check My Game Gustafson on D gets you plus 2 overall and plus 4 AP on the same line. Please, God, let's see this. So I posted my fourth line, which is Shane Wright, Deneau, and Newhook after the release. The reason he is not wrong that technically if you wanted to go to 11 AP, this is the best way to do a fourth line. I will counter this. Endurance is absolutely awful this year, and if you play at a high level, I would say if you've made it to gold, you will have times where your fourth line is on the ice. And if you go up against a good player and your fourth line is a sewer line, the days of that are pretty much gone. When I used to main versus, like, oh, I didn't play HUD at all, your fourth line never saw the ice. And even in the last, like, I would say NHL 23 and before, the fourth line never saw the ice. Now, more than ever, because of how hindered you are and how fast your guys lose energy, sewering your fourth line against a very good player, I just wouldn't recommend it. So if you want the extra 11 AP, this is 100% the best way to do it. And I totally understand, but just not for me. Like I can't have just 81 speed players out there when you've got kids ripping spin moves from center ice all over the place. It's a disaster. If you're a cup chase player, an offline player, I would recommend this. I would, because you can get it's not nearly as important. Can I just say the new logo is sweet? I love how it ties in with the Sharks Pro. Thank you, my man J Pro on Twitter. He made it. He does a lot of the MLB stuff for a lot of the big creators in MLB, and I've been following him for a while and thought that it was time for a fresh look. And I love how it turned out. Jeremy says it'd be amazing if they did one forward, one defenseman from each team for the fantasy event. Would give us so many options and players from our favorite team. I completely agree. I always say this though, when they go so hyper focused on an event or a card type or anything like that, there's potential to oversaturate and ruin it. I do think I'm glad that they do every team gets a player now. And I think that it would be good for a lot of teams to get a forward and a defenseman. I also think that there's a lot of decors that would never even have an option. Like if the Sharks, I don't even know what the Sharks defenseman would be. Like Orlov, like the Sharks have an AHL level decor, so I don't even know who the option would be. I guess you start them at 90 overall, maybe. I don't know. But I think the best way, in my opinion, for fantasy to work would be, again, it's not just goals. Fantasy hockey is more than just goals. There's assists, there's hits, there's block shots, there's face-off wins. Like I wish there was a way that they would do that where, like 10 hits gets a +1 overall, right? But that requires a lot of like data entry and stats, and they probably don't have the interest in doing all of that. But I think that's the way that you elevate the fantasy hockey event to more than just goals. But goals makes it very simple. People love watching people score. So, you're not going to see a Twitter clip of someone getting a +1 because a guy got a small bump check, on the forecheck or something like that, right? So Um, that's I don't think that's gonna happen. So, comedy says I used to play a MOBA at a very high level. I lived near the server I played on, and I would average under 5 ping. It would often read 0. They moved the server, and just the jump to around 30 to 50 ping made an unbelievable difference in my ability to land skill shots. Connection matters so much in competitive games with Twitch skills. If you are even in the top 5% of players, this is like again. If you watch me on stream, I try to hold my emotions in check, and I think I do it pretty well considering the amount of online play I have and the fact that competing is like my favorite thing to do. Like I love playing against other players. That's my joy. And I'm not great. I'm good, but I'm not great. And you'll see me. I only play QC players, and so I joke that EA has literally made me hate the entire Montreal fan base because I have, you know what I mean, just because I only see the Montreal Canadian logo. But the frustration, the thing that piques me more than anything, if you followed me for a long time, the thing I am elite at is face-offs. I'm very good at face-offs because it's not just mechanics of the face-off, it's also like the strategy behind it. When I'm lining up in the defensive zone for the first time, I pay attention to what my opponent did. I pay attention to what players he has on defense, if he's going to go for a one-timer or not. I pay attention to the neutral zone. What was the last thing he did in a neutral zone draw in the first period? Like, I remember all of those things. I love it. It's a game of rock, paper, scissors, and there's a lot of strategy behind it, and I really enjoy it. The thing that drives me absolutely up the wall is when I do a counter and should be given the puck, and it ends up going to the opposing player simply because of the server that we are playing on. And that's the one that you'll notice the most. Checking is another. Because when you're playing a QC player, or it doesn't have to be QC. You could be on the West Coast and you're playing, someone that's very close to the West Coast server, things like that, right? Anytime there's an input, they can do it faster. And when you check, when you hit R1, that means there's an even less delay when they R1, right? So you can't react fast enough because their reaction, it's faster based on where they are. And you notice it so much at the high level. He says it right here, even in the top 5% of players, because the gap is so small once you get to a certain skill level that even just like a 1% improvement is going to give you a gigantic advantage, right? And it's just frustrating because there's nothing that we can do about it. We can move. And it happens in all online games that are server based. And it just is what it is, unfortunately. So I like that Cup Chase is more fun, but I don't play Cup Chase. I play Rivals. Over 1,000 games a year, 4 years in a row. Rivals isn't fun anymore. I don't mind losing, but I'm a Div 3 player, and I just get destroyed every other game. Something has to change. I said this the other day. The reason why this format is so bad is because people can't get going. So when you do placement games in the older NHLs, if you won a game, if you went back and looked, and let's say you're a Division 2 player, and you just got the game for the first time, in those 5 games, you're probably going to dominate all of them. But in that one game, you might play another Division 2 player. And let's say you win, and it's your first game. You'll get like plus 300 skill rating, right? You beat another Division 3 player, you'll get another 120. And then once you hit where you're supposed to be and you're matching up with players at your skill level, you'll get plus or minus 10 or 12, right? The problem with this year is that jump to get players that are good out of the bottom is no longer there. It is completely gone. So when you have someone who's in Division 2 normally, okay, and you're a Division 4 to 5 ranked player, you still enjoy playing online ranked, but you're just starting. The Division 2 player can't jump and skip everyone. They have to keep playing all the way to get into silver and then on to gold and so forth. So those players that are in bronze, they play like 10 games, and if they get matched up with great players, they're just stuck. And there's no separation. You can't get the good players out of the bottom fast enough. And then what ends up happening is you get to silver, and all of the good Division 2 and above players are just ramming into each other at silver 3. And then you finally break into gold, and then you're like, okay, this is where things are going to get real, and every game is kind of whatever, right? So it sucks, and the only way to get online rewards is the ranked ladder. And when I saw that was so misguided, I thought that when there was no relegation, like they mentioned and they said, I was like, okay, even if you play a ton of games, eventually you'll win, and you'll slowly get the rewards. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Wouldn't do it that way, but now since you relegate, you can't get them. Like, you're going to get stuck, and you're going to go 100 games without getting new rewards. Like, that is insane, right? Insane. And the last comment is a long one, and I want to make sure I get to it because it addresses a lot of things in the community. Here we go. This one. Yes. He said, okay, Broham, I have I got some likes on my post in your previous video, so break it down. No ignoring. Much appreciated. What has gotten better now? Team of the week has become too difficult for the casual player to reap any rewards. Just this week, no rewards anymore for competitive. With all of this fancy time they had from checking out of the last game, NHL 25, they couldn't bother to fix the menus. They want us to make sets from our collection, but have no multi-select, no nice quality of life. Crappy B&D cards, dumb timers. Some folks just lose their collectibles. It's dumb. Where is the storage locker so we can hide the B&D crap and best players? Goalies are still doing stupid stuff that no goalie would do. So I'm going to break this down because this is a long one. So the team of the week changes. I mentioned it on stream. I don't know if I put it in a video. I hate it. I actually, when I talked about doing cup chase and the objectives, right? I was able to get all the team of the week objectives done last week with 2 team of the week items, and I was able to finish it in my superstar squad battle run, which in my opinion should be the way. If you take a whole season and you're trying to get objectives done while in the season, it should be done, right? Now I did one with, I think I had 6 team of the week cards because I'm stacking all my team of the week items. I had to go and do like 4 more or 5 more rookie games after finishing the entire cup chase season. I'm with you. I think that change to making it just an excessive amount is a mess. And I don't know what prompted that because last year it wasn't even that high, I don't believe. Maybe it was and I wasn't paying attention, but everyone played on rookie squad battle, so it was very easy to do anyways. But cup chase should be a thing where you play the season out and you're actively playing, not just running around a way to get the rewards from cup chase. It should be where you're getting the objectives done while playing the game. Right? That is what it should be. So I'm 100% with you on that. No rewards for competitive. I literally just talked about that in the prior comment, and I've been adamant about that. What needs to happen is, one, they just need to duplicate the current ranked path. They just need to make a second one, and it is cumulative, meaning that you can't relegate, like they said. So every win, you're just getting a box, and I think it ends up being like 100 wins or however many. I haven't done the math. Eventually, at 100 wins, you will get all the way to ultimate, and you would finish the season. However, if you're a great player, the reward is still there to get double rewards by being good and going through the ranked path there where you can relegate. That's one way to fix it. The other way would be to add in the rivals objectives again, which I think is a joke, and it's just going to make Division 2 guys or the guys that they have no backbone and they don't like actually competing online, so they look for easier matchups, so they're just going to de-rank to play the lesser skilled players so they can get their 30 wins. I think that's a really lazy way to do it, but at least it would give you rewards. So maybe that's necessary. The other thing is that I think that people aren't considering is that any reward you do get is worth more. Like if you get a 70, the reason why Cup Chase is so valuable, the 3 packs that you get, it can turn into 20, 30,000 coins. 20, 30,000 coins is worth like 75 in prior NHL games because there are so few rewards, right? And again, I don't think that the lack of rewards is a good thing. I'm just saying that is the reaction to the market, right? Like you can buy MSPs for 40,000 coins. Some of the best icons are under 50,000, right? That would have never happened. A good example of the lack of rewards and things like that is last year, 80 overalls for the fantasy event were going for 18,000 coins. Right now, they're at like 4, and that's high, right? So that's what you see. So Hut Champs is also considered competitive. And because you have to get to Silver 2 to get in there is no easy Hut Champs run. In prior years, the players that would never they shouldn't have qualified for champs. Like they're not good players. It's not meant for them. They would accumulate enough by playing online to be able to qualify for champs. It would take them weeks, but the first champs week would be wide open, and you would see the widest range of skill. Getting the Silver 2 is tough. Like you are a half decent player to get the Silver 2. And you're getting rewards for that as well for playing Hut Champs on top of ranked, but it's not nearly enough. No, I totally agree. I think that online players should be rewarded the most because it is the most difficult thing. And not only that, you can't pause. That is never discussed. If you're an offline only player and you complain about the rewards and that online they cater to online players too much, you can pause the game. That isn't discussed. If you get busy, you got to go cook dinner. You got to take a call because you play at work. Online, you sit down. You have to finish the game, and it is tough. It is hard. It's harder than Superstar, right? So, I'm with you on that. The menus, yeah, they remove the clicks. That's a plus. It takes less time to get into a game. You can't argue that. But after playing the game for an hour, trying to switch out your lineup in the lineup screen or completing sets or navigating anything inside of a menu is a disaster. It is the exact same as it was. And I said that when I saw the the live menu, how it shows the live background, like World of Chel. Thought it was cool, but also acknowledged that that's a lot of moving stuff that I hope that that doesn't make stuff lag even more. So I'm with you. It's that is the menus are brutal and they need to address that, but I don't know if they will. The no multi-select, another joke. It is unfortunate that they don't just fix things that they break because of the spaghetti code that they've put on the game over the years. I talk about this a lot. The backup goalie not being able to be used, that was broken in NHL 17. And they have deemed that it is not important enough to figure out the dev resources to get that fixed. The reason why we can't switch to a backup goalie is because in NHL 17, we were able to switch to a backup goalie, take a timeout, flip the puck over the boards, and it would desync your opponent. They didn't figure out a fix for that. They just said, you know what? Since we can't figure out a fix, we're going to remove that. It's been almost a decade. A joke, right? Multi-select is the exact same. It's, I remember when they added it in, like NHL 20, I was like, oh my God, this is a sick quality of life feature. And they got it done. The B&D cards, I actually don't mind B&D cards if they're done correctly. Getting one for completing objectives so you can complete further objectives, I'm fine with that. I'm completely okay. And B&D cards will have more value than ever, simply because later on in the year, you're going to love the fact that you got some random B&D cards for an NHL teams that will allow you to complete objectives, right? Or maybe it fits into future line combos and anything like that. I don't want to be force-fed B&D cards. I think that's a joke. But it is a useful mechanic to have in the game. Like when we trade cards in, like 2 MSPs to get one, we should be getting the other 2 MSPs back B&D, right? That's how it should work. Like McDavid's X Factor last year, perfect way how to use B&D cards. They didn't do that enough. Dumb timers. I hate the fact that there's 1 week cards or 1 week events and you can't make this stuff after. That's pure FOMO. And that's a tactic that they use to try and get you to feel like you got to rush, play all your time, spend money because that stuff's going to go away. They should allow us to make event items from the prior events. The reason why they don't is because they've changed the content structure. There's no chase cards. They want you to be focused and excited about the new stuff coming to keep you in the game. That's a philosophy, the new one they have. I don't agree with it, but that is what they have. Storage locker. Again, it broke, and they did not deem that the resources taking away from NHL 27 would be worth fixing it. It's tough. Goalies doing stupid stuff. You're relying on an AI. Goalies will always do bad stuff. There will never be an NHL video game in our lifetime where we say, wow, the goalies are amazing. It's just not. It's ones and zeros, unless we get some crazy AI like type chat GPT stuff where the goalie can read how you play over the course of your game and then change to it. We're never going to see that. All right. EA NHL over in Burnaby. Get a real stiff hard-on for making cards that cannot be obtained. What is the point of making cards if nobody can get them? For you to spend money. Same old Daze meta cards like he was a Hall of Famer. Hut Champs cards should be meta cards. Hut Champs is meant for the 1%. The players that are rewarded should not be the superstars that everyone that can't play Hut Champs would miss out on then. They should be the meta cards. In my opinion, I think that they're not meta enough. The top 100 Zetterberg has 86 speed. Top 100 in the world, 86 speed. There's other center out there that are better, right? And he's a popular player. Like, I didn't agree with that at all. But that is why. They should use the obscure in-game good players. That is what they should do because they're playing a mode that is the hardest thing to do in the game. But they can't make a supercharged Rick Middleton or Dave Taylor or John LeClair. Hasn't John LeClair gotten a team builder card like 17 times? It just feels like a bad extension from NHL 25. The guaranteed card is awesome. If you go back to the prior Hut Champs years where there was no guaranteed card, I think that was complained about a ton. I like the guaranteed card. I like the fact that you can get collectibles now and make the card that you want, right? I think that would be a great way to go. And I think that bringing back the collectible system is something that everyone, not just myself, that plays Hut Champs asked for. Now, the rewards and the packs that are in those, that can be debated on. I think that 83 overall is the top option is a little lame that it's not an 83 plus card, so we get a chance of pulling something higher. So, don't love that. Play the game your way, my ass. said this since the XP path after we figured it out. It is not that. That was the mantra at launch of NHL 25 because of the XP path, and it looked like for the first 2 weeks when the rewards were absolutely awful. At least the one good thing was that the only rewards were the XP pass, so you could play whatever you wanted. Didn't matter. It is not play the way you want. There is a certain way to play to get all of the stuff required, but it's a video game, so if you sit down and you want to play the way you want, and if the way that you want doesn't reward you enough and you don't feel like it's worthy of your time, go play a different game. If you can't feel like you can't do that, then that's on you. I would acknowledge that you're not enjoying it, and I would go try something else. And I know that we're all addicted to it, myself included. We love hockey, and we just want to play it. Try franchise mode. If you don't want to play franchise mode and you're addicted to Hut, this is what we got. I can't do anything about that. Can't do anything about that. Now we have to play on Rookie to get Team of the Week, crappy rewards. Just addressed this earlier. Hate that. Now name Team of the Week with an EAK. I actually like that play on words. I think Team of the Wallet is still funnier. We would have been nice to get into this cup chase overcharge. Should let it run for days if it happened to be fair to all, but no way Burnaby would let us have some fun. I don't think having something broken in game should be the definition of fun. That means that the mode itself needs more work and improvement. If a glitch is what you're waiting for to have fun, and you're not having fun without the glitch, that is a bigger issue that needs to be addressed. It should be fair that people didn't get to take advantage of it. Yeah, it sucks, but it's not like we were given. I think I ended up with like maybe 6,000 XP extra than what I would have got normally, and maybe 3,000 coins. So I think you're exaggerating or maybe misunderstanding the buff that you missed out on. It was literally they just went from getting 1,100 XP to 1,700 XP, and they went from giving you 400 or 500 coins to 900 coins. They weren't giving you out 85 overalls. I missed it as I have these tricky things in life called working kids. I don't know if there's someone that appreciates working kids more than me in the community as a creator, because I understand, and it's tough, and I hate when stuff like that breaks, which is why I try to tell everyone, like yourself, you're too busy to know exactly what's going on, what is happening, which is what I did yesterday. On a side note, you say Team of the Week objectives is disappointing, was not strong enough. You are letting last year's alleged content team and this year's same similar group of losers that don't watch hockey nor play this game. I mean, you will be fine with your McDavid pulls and being good at hub champs. I said this in my chat today. Pulling the two Connor McDavids, for the first time in 5 years, was literally an awful thing for my video series and just like the outlook in general. Sometimes you get good pulls once in a while. They did not juice my packs. I got insanely lucky, and what you're not realizing is that I've opened up 10,000 packs in between NHL 21 and now. And you didn't say anything about the 10,000 packs that EA did not buff my stuff. I just happened to get extremely lucky at 3 a.m. at the launch of NHL 26 after I've been playing the game for 15 days, 4 hours. It happens, guys. Sometimes you are going to get good pulls. And someone in my chat said you should just quick sell them. I actually thought about that. There's people that pull good stuff. I think you should know what to do with it, right? And to be honest, it felt nice. I haven't had a great pull like that in years since I spent money, which I don't do or have not done in 4 years now. Again, someone that is the biggest creator for Hut has not spent money in 4 years. I want that to be very clear here, all right? And my entire content is geared to showing you how to play the game without spending any money. The Team of the Week objectives, me being upset. I voiced my concern to them in the chat. What else do you want me to do? Boycott the game? I don't think it warrants that. I hope they change it back. I'm still enjoying it. And if you're not enjoying it and you think that it's too much, I wouldn't do it. You can't realistically tell us your team would look the same without those McDavid pulls. That means you could get McKinnon and record speed and are comfortable, so that's bull. I had 140,000 coins. The pulls that I normally get in Cup Chase, I would have just kept doing and got Connor McDavid. I wouldn't have 300,000 coins now because I got an extra 260 from the second McDavid pull. I would have eventually got the team that I had. It just would have taken me longer because I know what to do to get stuff in the game, and I was just playing a ton. yes, I should have stated that more, that like, yes, I was blessed with the 2 Connor McDavid pulls, but one of them would have been the card that I would have gotten him. He was why I was playing Cup Chase in the first place. But folks that can't play Hut Champs and be successful do deserve a little more. You make it sound like the reward should be a 90 Gretzky card, in my view. Folks that can play Hut Champs and be successful do deserve a little more. You make it sound like the reward should be Gretzky. Oh, you're saying that because I'm saying that Hut Champs players should be rewarded more, than they should get the best cards in the game. No, they should get a extremely sought after card that allows them to perform against other like-minded players. Guys, if the top 100 players in the world got a 90 overall Mario Lemieux, now, best card in the game, isn't even close. How many of you guys are going to actually match up against that player? None, right? They get that 90 overall player. Unfair that you couldn't, but they did something that no one else could do. And now the 100 other players that they match up with regularly also have that card. They are the ones that's going to see this, right? It should be, Hut Champs should give out the biggest reward, because if you can get top 100 in the world at a video game that offers rewards, it should be the most rewarding. I think that we do not reward performance enough, and you can argue that the performance is nothing like hockey. Totally get that. When you play top 100, you are not playing the sport of hockey. You are playing the game of NHL, EA NHL. And I don't love that, because like there's L2 glitching and the mechanics involved are insane. But nonetheless, they are still better than everyone else at the game that we're all playing. They should be rewarded as such. I don't think they should be given McDavids and whatnot, but I think that the cards they should give should matter, and the rewards should matter. Offline players get a reward system where in 2 hours you can just go behind the net, pass back and forth, get 3 packs, pull McDavid potentially, load up again, and do it again, right? We are getting nothing for competitive, totally nothing. In 100% agreement. The reward structure for competitive play, not just for the top-end player, is an absolute mess, a disaster. Every content creator, I'll break the fourth wall here, every content creator has relayed that info to EA in the chat. They know, and I guarantee what they're doing is they're waiting a week to see if the dam breaks, and if nothing changes, they will more than likely make a change. But they're waiting to see if this new thing that they did is going to work eventually. Maybe they take too long with it. I think that they're going to push the casual player away, just like the XP Path did last year, because they didn't course correct fast enough with that. That's my fear, but it has been relayed. There is nothing more that I can do. What the heck about the casual players you say you cater to? That all said, you are the best in the business as you make strong content for this sloppy game. But it is hockey, kinda. However, you are just disconnected from casuals and loving Hut Champs time and going on and on about it like we are all that good. So that means to me, and some of us old Division 3 to 6 players don't matter as much to your channel, talk about that stuff. I apologize that anything that I have released over the last little while gave you that impression. I don't know how I can be more catering to the player base that I'm not a part of. I want to be very clear here that I'm not a casual player. I haven't been below a division. I spend most of the year in Division 2, but I've been in Division 1 every year. So I don't have the ability to be a casual player, but I go through all these videos listening to the casual player so that when I give my insight or my opinions to EA, I'm like, hold up a second. You might be just trying to fix the 1%ers on Twitter or Reddit that are screaming that play the game 1,000 hours, not the people that can sit down and they have an hour a night, which I am, because when I'm not playing NHL, I get maybe an hour to play Pokemon TCG Pocket comfy from my couch. And that is a game I enjoy because you don't have to put in 1,000 hours to it, right? So I apologize that my last video made you feel like that, or my prior videos made you feel like that. I will reflect and try to be even more casual oriented, but I gotta be honest, my guy, as someone who does this full time, I do not know how I can be more casual oriented than I am now. AP Gate taught me a lot. And if you were to go back and watch my tone and what I talked about before AP Gate and after AP Gate, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So anyways, I wanted to go through that one because he took the time. That was a lengthy one, and it addressed a lot of things. Not all of them I see, but I see individual ones quite a bit, and I wanted to address that. So anyways, I hope you guys come check out the Subathon. Fantasy event is dropping at 5 p.m. Eastern time today. Gonna be a blast. It's my favorite event. I hope they don't mess it up. And I'll have all the info for anyone that isn't able to come to the stream today. It'll be up in the video, full detailed one. If they release a second event with it, the content video is going to be like 4 hours long again. So There's 32 cards to review. I'll also do a prediction on Saturday, going over like who I predict to do well. I actually think it might be too early to do that because we need to see power plays and lines. And I love that it's happening before the season. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.